I'm Dr. Olivia Parker, and today I'm going to share something that can completely transform the way you think about dating, attraction, and confidence after the age of 60. Most men over 60 believe their best years are behind them. They think women only want younger men, or that aging has taken away their charm, their charisma, their strength, and their ability to attract a truly meaningful connection. But the truth is the opposite. Women can't resist men over 60 who still do certain things, and most men are completely unaware of how powerful these traits are. Dating after 60 is not about pretending to be young. It's not about competing with men in their 20s or 30s. It's not about trying to impress women by acting like someone you're not. In fact, the moment you stop trying to compete with younger men and instead lean into the strengths that only older men possess, something incredible happens. Women respond to you more openly, more warmly, and more naturally than they ever did when you were younger. Why? Because attraction after 40, 50, 60, and 70 follows a completely different set of rules. Women at this stage of life are not looking for youthful drama, emotional chaos, or immature games. They've lived, they've learned, they've been hurt, they've been disappointed, and what they want now is a man who feels emotionally safe, masculine, mature, confident, steady, and deeply present. Those qualities are not found in younger men. They are found in men like you. But the problem is that most men over 60 stop doing the very things that make them attractive to women. They withdraw, they isolate, they get quiet, they get tired, they become invisible without realizing it. Women can't resist men over 60 who still show something I call engaged presence. This is the ability to look at a woman with real attention, to listen when she speaks, to respond with warmth instead of judgment, to make eye contact instead of shutting down, to smile with confidence instead of fear, to show curiosity instead of defensiveness, to be present instead of distracted. Younger men rarely show this. They're glued to their phones, insecure, restless, or overly focused on impressing others. But a mature man who is calm, steady, and attentive becomes magnetic without even trying. And that's the secret most men over 60 never hear. You are most attractive when you are fully yourself. Not when you try to look young, not when you try to act young, not when you chase validation, not when you hide your age. You become attractive when you embrace the masculine confidence that only comes with experience. Women can feel it instantly. So what exactly do women notice about men over 60? What makes them lean in, smile more, laugh more, and open up emotionally? The first thing women notice is your energy. Not your muscles, not your height, not your wrinkles, your energy. Energy is your emotional posture. It's the spark in your voice, the life in your eyes, the way you walk into a room, the way you sit, the way you talk, the way you respond. Men over 60 who carry themselves like life is still exciting, still meaningful, still worth exploring are instantly more attractive than any 30-year-old with perfect hair and perfect skin. The second thing women notice is confidence, but not loud confidence, not ego, not arrogance. Women are drawn to men who are quietly self-assured, grounded, calm, and emotionally stable. A man who knows who he is, a man who doesn't panic, a man who doesn't seek approval, a man who doesn't rush, a man who doesn't apologize for existing, a man who is centered in himself. That kind of confidence is rare and irresistible. The third thing women notice is your attention. Women crave connection. They want to be heard. They want to be understood. They want a man who listens, not a man who's waiting for his turn to talk. Most men over 60 stop giving real attention without realizing it. They drift off mentally, they zone out, they lose curiosity. But a man who listens with genuine interest becomes unforgettable to a woman. The fourth thing women notice is emotional presence, the ability to stay connected during a conversation. Not shutting down, not avoiding feelings, not changing the subject when things get personal. Women don't want a man who is emotional like them. They want a man who is emotionally steady but still emotionally available. A man who can stay in the moment instead of hiding inside himself. But here's where many men lose their way. They start believing that women only want money, youth, or perfect health. This belief destroys their confidence. It makes them shrink. It makes them disconnect. The real truth is that women want emotional safety. They want maturity, stability, kindness, strength, and a man who knows how to communicate. They want warmth, humor, confidence, clarity, honesty, and presence. These qualities are incredibly attractive and far more valuable than youth. Another secret few men know is that attraction after 60 is heavily influenced by emotional connection. When a woman feels emotionally connected to you, she becomes physically attracted as well. Emotional connection is the doorway to intimacy. But intimacy doesn't begin in the bedroom. It begins in conversation, presence, tone of voice, and body language. Older men who understand this experience deeper, more meaningful connections, and more satisfying relationships. Now let's talk about the biggest mistake men over 60 make. They stop flirting. Flirting is not about trying to be sexual. It's not about cheesy lines or being inappropriate. Flirting is simply showing warmth and interest. It's smiling a little more, holding eye contact a little longer, speaking with playfulness, giving genuine compliments, showing charm, showing that you're engaged and present. When men stop flirting, they stop signaling attraction, and women assume they're not interested. But when men over 60 bring back subtle, mature, confident flirting, everything changes. Women respond immediately, but flirting alone isn't enough. You also need purpose. Women are deeply attracted to men with direction. Not a job, not a career, purpose. Purpose is having something in your life that matters, something that gives you energy, something that makes you feel alive. It could be learning, traveling, building, mentoring, volunteering, creating, or pursuing a passion. A man with purpose radiates vitality. A man without purpose feels empty, and women sense that instantly. You also need curiosity. Curiosity keeps you young without trying to be young. Curious men ask questions, explore ideas, try new things, and stay mentally alive. Women love that. A curious man is never boring. A curious man keeps conversations flowing. A curious man feels vibrant. Then there's humor. Humor is one of the strongest attraction triggers for women of all ages. But especially after 60, a man who laughs easily, who doesn't take himself too seriously, who enjoys simple moments, who can playfully tease without being rude, this man becomes unforgettable. Humor is not about being a comedian. It's about being light-hearted, warm, and open. Another powerful quality is emotional steadiness. Women want a man who doesn't explode, doesn't overreact, doesn't panic, and doesn't shut down. A man who can communicate calmly. A man who can talk things through. A man who doesn't disappear emotionally. Emotional steadiness is masculine. It makes women feel safe. And of course, physical presence matters too, but not in the way most men think. You don't need to look young. You simply need to look alive. Walk tall. Keep your shoulders back. Keep your posture strong. Dress in clothes that fit well. Groom yourself. Stay active. You don't need a perfect body. Just show that you care about yourself. When a man maintains basic physical presence, women instantly feel more attracted. Now here's the real breakthrough. Women are not looking for a perfect man. They're looking for a connected man. A man who can talk. A man who can listen. A man who can laugh. A man who can be emotionally present. A man who shows appreciation. A man who is confident without acting superior. A man who is masculine without being controlling. You don't need to be 30. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be in perfect shape. You need to be present, alive, engaged, and confident. These qualities make you more attractive than most younger men. So what should you do right now to become the kind of man women can't resist after 60? First, come back to life. Re-engage. Stop isolating yourself. Start talking to people again. Start saying hello to strangers. Start smiling more. Start listening more. Become social again, even in small ways. Second, rebuild your masculine presence. Stand tall. Speak calmly. Slow down your movements. Make eye contact. Use pauses when you talk. These instantly increase your attractiveness. Third, practice emotional warmth. Not weakness, warmth. Ask women about themselves. Show curiosity. Compliment them sincerely. Laugh with them. Emotional warmth makes you unforgettable. Fourth, stay curious. Learn new things. Try new hobbies. Explore new conversations. A curious mind is magnetic. Fifth, keep flirting. Not aggressively, but playfully. A gentle compliment. A teasing smile. A warm tone. Flirting is how women know you're interested. Sixth, take care of your appearance. You don't need to look young, you need to look alive. Trim your hair. Keep your beard neat. Wear clothes that fit. Maintain basic grooming. Seventh, build emotional steadiness. Breathe slowly. Speak calmly. Stay grounded. Women feel deeply attracted to emotionally steady men. And finally, embrace your age. Confidence doesn't come from looking young. It comes from owning who you are. Wrinkles, grey hair, life experience, these are not weaknesses. They are attractive. They are masculine. They are powerful. Women find mature men deeply magnetic when those men stop apologizing for their age. Women can't resist men over 60 who are present, confident, emotionally steady, warm, curious, humorous, and fully alive. Most men waste these gifts, but you don't have to. If you step into your strength, your presence, your maturity, and your masculine energy, you will be surprised by how quickly women begin responding to you differently.